Boobah, do you realize that this is my first ever collaboration with anyone in my channel?
Oh, okay.
Boobah, you're my first collab person. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Nurse Lalis here and I'm back with another video. If you are new here, thank you for coming and I hope you're going to stick around and I hope you're going to like my channel and subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. To everyone who has been with me on this channel, guys, since 2021, 2022, I really appreciate you guys and I'm so happy to have you, and I hope you're going to make great and even better memories in this month of 2023. So today, as you can see, I have a special guest. Boobah! Guys, Boobah agreed to do a collaboration with me on my channel. Boobah, I'm so happy to have you here, and I'm sure my subbies are also happy to see you. How do you feel?
I feel like I just want a Grammy.
You just want a Grammy award?
Yeah, invited to an important.
Oh, of course, because I mean, I'm
Sure.
important. I'm important, Boobah. So yeah, guys, Boobah is here with us today, and for those of you who are maybe watching for the first time and you don't know, this is my husband, guys, and I call him Boobah. Okay, that's his name. Yeah, I think they can see it, Boobah. I think. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, guys, I have Boobah today and we are doing a story time, my first ever story time video. Okay guys, we're using a mic, so let me just bring it like a bit closer. I hope it's not going to be distracting.
See, now that's a problem because now it's no longer in the same place as the first part of the audio. Because we keep moving the mic.
So it's going to be louder now. Okay, no, let's leave it there. Okay guys, so today we're doing something different. We're doing a story time. Last month, in the month of Jan, I was uploading a series, a travel vlog series, which I noticed that you guys really enjoyed a lot. So we decided that we want to do a story time and give you guys a bit more context to what was happening on that travel vlog series to Zimbabwe. So Habi and I went to Zimbabwe for my friend's wedding, Natai, and oh my gosh. Okay guys, sorry about that glitch. We ran out of space on the camera and had to delete a few things, but we are back now. Okay, so as I was saying, we realized that you guys really enjoyed the Zim travel vlog series, and we wanted to give you a bit more context on the trip and like everything that was happening, everything that we went through, so that you can like understand better. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're doing a story time video and we'll basically be telling you about how the trip went. I don't know, Boobah, if there's anything that you want to add.
So the videos that are uploaded. They show pretty nice occasions or events that took place. But yeah, it was not all clement, let's say.
Yeah, but
So-
I think your sound waves are not too.
They're not.
Yeah, don't be too far. Like,
That's me being far, yo. Maybe I should just increase my voice.
yeah, try and increase your voice. Yeah,
Should I
go
retort?
Boobah,
Should I
go Boobah. Look at my sound waves when I'm talking. Can you see?
Unuyancola.
Okay, teta again.
Okay, no, I was just saying already. The videos are quite nice. The ones that I upload, and they show beautiful events that took place.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yo, the real juice.
The real juice, guys. Yeah, on the videos you guys don't see everything as it was happening, and you don't see the emotions. There's a lot that's left out from the videos. Yeah. So yeah, I think the whole idea is just to then give you guys the whole picture now. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Yeah, so I think we'll start it off by telling you guys when we left. Okay. Do you want to tell us, Boobah?
When did we leave it?
We left on, so the wedding was on the Saturday, right? The 24th of December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So we left on the 22nd.
We left on Thursday.
Oh, yeah, actually.
Yeah.
We left on, it was the 22nd on Thursday. Yeah. And the reason why we left on Thursday, guys, was really because we heard a lot of horror stories about the Zimbabwe border. And also about the Mozambique border and so like our friends were preparing us for the trip and like telling us what to avoid, what to bring. And my friend Natsi, whenever she goes home, because she used to study here in Joburg, so Natsi would never drive to go to Zim. She would always fly. So she didn't really know that well the nitty-gritties of actually passing through the border and what's required and how the whole thing goes. So, but she did ask like her cousins and but once we got to the border, guys, we realized that we actually were not prepared. Okay. But one thing that we knew before going into the trip was that it might just be a rough ride. Okay, so hence we decided, okay, we're going to leave on Thursday. And the whole idea behind leaving Thursday was we are going to sleep over in Limpopo, which is much closer to the border at Beitbridge. And then we're going to wake up midnight Friday morning, right? So Thursday we're going to sleep in Limpopo. Then we're going to wake up midnight Friday morning at 1 o'clock and start driving to the border. Yeah, so the whole idea was that we'd be closer to the border and hopefully we can get to the border before a lot of people get there, before it starts getting full, and hopefully be ahead in the queue somehow. So that was the plan. That was the plan. So anything you want to add, Boobah?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
That's the plan.
Is that still on?
Yeah, no, it's on.
Okay, so now let's backtrack to the 22nd of December, Thursday, the day that we left. So we started the trip off by going to Limpopo.
Mokopan, to be specific.
Yes, Mokopane. So we were going to sleep over at our friend's place in Mokopane. Okay, cool. So we left. What time did we leave, Boobah, for Mokopane?
Around the afternoon.
In the afternoon. Oh yeah, because guys, we had car. Oh no, it was before the car problems. Okay, yeah. So we left around the afternoon. Nekabo 11.
No, yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was in the mornings because we wanted to arrive there early and spend time with the guys.
Oh yeah, with our friends there in Mokopane. Oh yeah, actually. But we delayed quite a bit actually and ended up leaving, I think around Boma 9. So yeah, because
to go to Mokopane.
I get it. The whole idea was to leave early so that we can spend a lot of time with them. But we actually didn't end up leaving at like Boma 8 and 7 o'clock like we planned.
But now 9 o'clock is not that late.
But again, I think we left around that time.
Okay.
Because 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Yeah, because we were set to get there around like We were hoping to get there at least, I think, at Boma 2, so.
Oh, well, that's not important, bro. Right?
Okay, anyways, yeah. Left, went to Mokopane. So we were using GPS, guys. We got to Mokopane in town, and then we got lost. So even the trip to Mokopane, it had its own details. But because it was in the vlog, I think maybe we can talk about it. Yeah, because it was in the vlog, yeah. So we got lost in Mokopane. So we got to Mokopane town, like the town, and we went to get some food at KFC. And then as we were going now to our friend's place, Botebelo's place, hey guys, GPS was taking us to this gravel road. I don't know what was happening with GPS in December, but we kept getting lost because of GPS. So I think we're about like 30 minutes away from our destination, and it was always happening when we are like 30 minutes away from where we are going. Then now it was taking us off the main road and into this gravel road. Yo guys, we kept going around in circles because now we were just like, how long are we going to drive on this gravel for? And it's so uncomfortable to drive in gravel, especially when you don't know when it's gonna end. So hey, we had to make a U-turn and go back to the road where we were, try and find an alternative route. But guys, the GPS kept taking us to that gravel road. Okay, fine. Eventually we found a way.
With some help.
With
people that's there around the area. Well, that bra.
Oh, wait, before we got there, actually we got lost. It was taking us to that other road, and we kept passing that Mokopane sign when we go back.
Yeah.
Then, okay, fine. We eventually were able to leave that area and get closer to where we were supposed to be. But now, again, we got lost. It took us to a dead end. It kept taking us outside of the main roads, guys, and taking us to the gravels. So now we got lost. We got to this place where there was like now a body of water, and we literally couldn't pass the water. Then that's when you see us now. We got out of the car and we vlogged a bit, and we were calling our friends. I'll insert that clip maybe somewhere here for someone who didn't watch the vlog.
Flashback.
That's how you hear it, bro. Every time we saw a car back in the zoo.
Moments later.
I'm gonna bring you my flip flops.
Oh, really?
Look down.
Oh!
Loser, babe.
Oh, guys, we are in the middle of nowhere. We've been following the GPS this whole time.
Don't you wanna come closer?
Yeah, I'm coming. So we've been following the GPS this whole time, and we are stuck. Like, we've been driving through a long gravel road. So now the GPS was telling us to turn left at this place, and here we are. And just look what this road has in store for us. Water stuffies.
End of flashback.
But I highly encourage that you go back and watch the vlog, guys. Yeah. So we got lost there and we called Botevelo, and then after a lot, we had to ask someone who was walking there. Then we eventually found our way. We got to Mokopane and we were with our friends, and it was cool. Yeah, we slept over. We woke up midnight Friday. Yeah. Do you want to continue from there, Boobah?
Yeah, so I think the first part of the morning was alright because we were able to wake up on time around 2 o'clock to be exact, and we left for Beitbridge. And for the majority of the road trip, everything was okay. There was no traffic because it's like very early in the morning. And yeah, the ride was smooth right until we got to like very close to Beitbridge. Yeah, and that's when things started to to happen.
Yeah.
And this is like it was still quite far from Beitbridge because we still had quite some distance to cover, but already there were already cars that were queuing to go inside Beitbridge. And just the lack of order, that's one of the things that got us. Because we did expect that there will be quite some traffic when we get there, because it was like 2 days before Christmas. 3 days before Christmas?
Like, yeah,
2 days. So we expected that, but now you get there and the queue is so long of cars just parked outside, and we were just allocated some spot to park and that was away from the main road that leads into Beitbridge. So just parking there without being told, like, why are we here? Does this queue lead inside? What's going on? Yeah, that was the first frustrating thing, because you actually slept
I
in the
slept.
car. You were so
Guys,
tired, you slept in the car.
I slept
Yeah.
while we were in that queue.
Yeah, and then I was just there walking outside and asking people from Zim or hey Baba,
What's going on?
what's happening? What documentation? And because we're not ready with documentation, what documentation do you need to cross the border and all those beautiful things? I was doing research during the time that you were asleep. Yeah.
And another thing, when we were in Limpopo, our friends alerted us to the fact that we need to have car registration documents. So we hadn't planned for that. We hadn't gotten the car registration documents, you guys. They wanted a cross-border letter from your car insurance, a cross-border letter from your financing bank, and they wanted car ownership document, which is the NATIS document that you get from the traffic department. But when you call the bank, when you call like the bank that's financing your car, you can get that NATIS document. So while we were in that queue,
They also wanted like proof that your car is insured. So you also called our insurer.
yeah, so that's the cross-border letter from the insurance.
Oh.
Yes, I guess we got that one, and then we got the bank one, and then the car ownership. Yes. So while we were there, okay, so now we were at the beginning, guys, around 7 o'clock. I vlogged this. That's when we got to Beitbridge. So there were 2 queues of cars that were going forward. But now, the queue that they put us in, it was like on the side. It was like sort of almost on the pavement side.
It's like you're parked.
Like it's like you parked by the side of the road. So next thing, now when they start allowing cars to go in, all of the cars that were on this side, on the right side, they were going. Even people who were behind us were going,
And
because
that is the road that leads properly into
Beitbridge.
Yeah, and where we had parked, it's still a road, but there was a huge bus that was
in
just
front of us.
stationary,
Yeah.
closing the road. Yeah.
But now, no one cares whether you guys got there early and you were just told to park on the side and direct traffic to ensure that the people who got there first will go in first. No, those people don't care. So we were on the other side now, and a lot of cars that were actually behind us, they went ahead of us and passed, because now they had put us on the side, which was the first frustrating thing, because now it was like, Haibo, so many people are passing who came way after us. But now, Tina, we are at the back of the queue. Oh, okay, fine, good guys. Anyways, eventually we went in. Okay, guys, it was getting a bit dark, so we had to turn on the light. But yeah, as we were saying, eventually then we were driving. So it's a long drive to actually get to the actual border. It's a bit of a drive, ne? But they started like the queue, like back. So okay, we started now moving towards the border. So while we were moving towards the border, and it's that slow process with the queue, then we started making the calls to get the car documents. while we still had network on the South African side. And now our hope was that we would get maybe like an internet cafe somewhere there and make copies of the documents and print them out, because guys, government things. Government things, they don't work with digital copies. They want hard copies. So we're not about to play with our lives like that and not make copies. So,
and the story of hard copies gets worse as time goes by, but
that one. So, okay, fine. Then we're making the calls. I vlogged that part also. We're making the calls now to get the documentation. And luckily, we're able to get all the documentations to my email. Oh, sorry, my person. So, now we had to... Then we eventually got inside Beitbridge.
Now, one of the struggles that we went through was during the calls to the bank, where you were like this
network
the whole way. Like,
ooh, and when I was calling the bank, financing bank, that lady was like, "Ma'am, sorry, I can't hear you. The line is so bad."
And we could hear her.
We could hear her perfectly. I'm like, lady, like, I'm at the border and the network is so terrible here. Please, can you take all of the details? Like, because I have no control. Oh, at some point I had to go out of the car. I'm like, can you hear me now? She's like, no, ma'am, your line is very bad. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? It was hectic. So that was the issue again over there.
And then you came back inside, and there was a particular time whereby when you put your phone exactly like
on the roof,
particular place, it was working, and then I had to hold you here so that
I had to hold my hand, because now my hand was so tight. But that was literally the only way
to
communicate.
And then that call, when we were like 95% there, it dropped.
Guys,
after providing so much information, it dropped, and we had to call again.
Found
a new person
and restart the whole process. That's the most boring thing when you call these call centers. I wish these people could like take the details down, take your number down, for in case there's a network problem, and they can just get back to you. Because wow, guys, it's daunting when now you have to restart the whole story.
Because all that was left was for her to just press send or print, but now she needed your confirmation to say yes, print.
Yes.
And she didn't do that.
And at some point, she put me on hold.
That's when it dropped. When you went on hold forever.
Yes.
And the next thing it dropped. When you came back, it's a different person. Are we still there? No, we have to start afresh. But the second lady was quicker though, at least.
The second one, yeah. So, finally we got the documents and we got inside Beitbridge. So when you get to Beitbridge there, like, there's parking spaces on the South African side. There's parking spaces. I think there's like a shop there. But before you get there, there's a Shell garage. And then at that Shell garage, there's like a few shops where they sell a lot of things. And it's packed. It's packed there. And then after the Shell garage, it's like a lot of people who are selling SIM cards, Zimbabwean SIM cards. And then there are like some sort of like internet cafe places where you can print. So guys, we were not sure how much money to withdraw because we didn't know how much we will need to cross the border. So we were going to use Boobah's card, and then Boobah called his bank. And I was communicating with my friend Natai the whole time that, okay, we'll just maybe get like confirmation from our bank if we can use the card inside them. Our bank card instead of withdrawing, because we were not sure how much we will need. Our other friends had told us that we need to have like maybe 200 rand that's like loose for whatever things, but really guys, we were really unprepared. Like after that whole trip, we realized that guys, we need to have like 2,000 rand cash. 2,000 rand just to pass the border.
Not to spend.
But just to pass. Yeah. Because before we passed the border, I had thought maybe we can take out 1,000 rand, but it still wouldn't have been enough. So because we didn't know, guys, we were just like, you know what, we'll just use the card. because life is convenient here in South Africa. You just swipe, swipe, swipe. And we barely keep cash. Like, we barely keep cash. So, yeah. We're used to that life of swiping. But, Zim showed us plain. Okay, before we get to that, fine, we parked the car, ne? Then we had to now go and print stuff out. So we still had that cash.
Yeah.
Yes, so we still had that cash. 200 bucks.
Rand, yeah.
And also our 200 rand was chowed because there at Mokopane KFC, they didn't allow us to use the card, so we had to pay with some of the cash. Load shedding stuffies or whatever. So now already our cash flow was compromised. Okay, fine. Then we went to go and make the copies, and there were like plenty of people selling SIM cards. So we got a SIM card because I had visited Zimbabwe before to visit my friends, so I knew like, okay, you need a SIM card. So we got the SIM card, and then there were these people who were selling us reflectors. Oh, but then that was after the border, ne? Yeah, that was after the border. Okay, fine. We got the SIM card. We got the copies. Great. And we were like, oh, yes.
And that's the
we're
easy
on a
part.
roll. Yeah, that's the easy part. We thought, oh, we on a roll, guys. We are passing. It's still nice and early. I think maybe it was around Boobah 9 o'clock at that time.
Yeah.
Because we got there at 7, I guess.
Yeah.
It took some time to get inside. So at that time we were thinking, oh yes, we got this. We'll be gone by lunchtime. We're out of here. Hey, we went back to the border again. Then we crossed on the South African side, which is easy peasy. You literally stamp your passport. You show them the car documents. They give you this other slip to cross the border where you write your car registration. Then you cross. That one easy. You cross the bridge. So there's a bridge there. Cross the bridge.
It was hot.
Yeah.
When you're standing on those queues and to go and
kind of
present
there's a queue.
a nice long one.
Yeah, there's a queue on the South African side. But shame, like it was so fast. Faster than I thought.
Relatively, yeah.
Yeah, faster than I thought. And we were there in the heat. Yeah, I think I also showed that. I showed that in the vlog. So, yeah, then we crossed the bridge. We crossed the bridge. We got to the Zimbabwean side now. The Zimbabwean side. Kind of what happened when we got to the Zimbabwean side.
So immediately when you get there, you are welcomed by like a lot of cars that are just parked. And we just followed the cars and to go inside, and we just parked wherever we found like an empty spot. And the very first person that we came across was a security lady, or in fact, because now we're within Zim now, you're gonna meet a lot of like people from Zim who are in business, Baba. So everybody, when they see a GP or a Limpopo or like a South African registration, everybody just wants to make bank.
Yeah, they're selling
Yeah.
their stuff.
Because they immediately started asking us if we have like a TIP, and we had no idea what TIP was. And so we told ourselves, you know what, we're gonna speak to like a security personnel to like guide us as to like where do we even go from here. Because like it was just pulling you like, hey, have you done this and this, and they know we don't know these things, so so the very first person we spoke to was that lady who was wearing like a nice
uniform.
Uniform, and who told us that okay, from here you need to go inside and go to the cubicle.
So there was like a big building that looks like a hall. It's like very big inside. And then that's where all of there were queues inside that building as well to pay the different things, the zinaras, the border pass, the what. So I think she told us which aisle to go to. Go to aisle number 3 or something. Number 9.
Was number 9.
Where we're going to pay the cross border, the Zim border. So that's the Zim border one. Because when we got to the bridge, they gave us that receipt thingy to pass the border. So that's the one that we had to pay, and that one was 470.
Yeah, 470.
Yeah, so we got there. So that queue, that was the first queue we got to. It wasn't a lot of people there. It was really very fast. We got there, and then nice thing about that, the Zim border,
that particular queue.
to pay the Zim border. So that's the border pass basically. You pay for passing the border. So that one was 470, and the nice thing about it was that we could pay with the card.
Is it called Zimri? Is it the one that's called Zimri?
No, it's just the Zim border one.
Oh.
Yeah. Then there's the Zimri, and there's the Zinar.
Oh, Zimri. Okay. Yeah.
No, Tina, we didn't pay the Zimri. I think, Tina, we paid the Zinara.
But we'll get to it. I just wanted to know the name of that one.
Yeah. So, but that one, it was the Zim border. It was on that slip. I get it was written. That slip we had to carry everywhere. Okay. So we paid that one. And because now the first queue, guys, it's very quick. You're thinking, we'll be out of here in no time. Yeah, auntie guys. What was waiting for us? We never expected it.
Oh, and that particular queue, the lady was quite nice.
Yeah.
She was very nice. She was helpful. We had already started to see that the order of the day was cash, no cards or anything. So we told her that we have our card, and she was like, no, it's fine. I have a machine that converts rands to dollars, so we can swap your card and then it will do the job. Clean, done. Yeah.
So yeah, that gave us hope. That gave us hope. But shame, it was very deceitful because we were in for quite a ride. So then after we paid that, Ghana, did they say we must go do the police clearance after that?
Yeah, no, we had to do a police clearance. So there was another lady within that building that we were speaking to.
Asking,
the security, another security lady, whom we were communicating with regarding, okay, so what's next? Because everything we had to really ask someone, okay, what do we do next? And so from there, they told us to go back outside where we came from to do a police clearance. And that's another walk, leaving the building, going back.
In the sun again.
Yeah, it's hard like nobody's business. And you're on another queue that goes to
the police clearance.
Thing.
And there again, they want the documents. And they want to see that Zim border receipt.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went to go and do that. Goodness. So we went to go and do that. Then we had to go back into that building. So I think now, when we came back, I think that's when we had to do the TIP.
Yeah.
So the TIP, it's the temporary. I
told you to research these things.
No, don't worry. So then we had to go and do the TIP. So the TIP, it's the temporary import permits, right? And it's part of the ZIMRA, the TIP. It's part of the ZIMRA, and everyone who goes into Zimbabwe with a car needs to pay the TIP for using the roads in Zimbabwe. So it's like a road payment thing. You pay for using the road.
Nice.
Yeah. I wonder if we have such things here in South Africa. But yeah, you just pay for using the road. And if they catch you driving inside Zim and you hadn't paid that thing, then you're going to be fined. Okay. So we had to now do that thing. So that thing, you need to do it online. And then put in your details and then sign in with your email, and then you're gonna get is it an
code,
OTP? Yeah, you get like a code that you need to go and pay with. Okay, so we did that when we went back inside. there was this other guy who was, because we were asking him, what is this thing about? And guys, no one could explain it properly to us in a way that it makes sense what it is that we're actually paying for. But again, because you don't want to defy the laws of a country, we were abiding. So, okay, fine, we do that thing on my phone. And then after that, again, we had to pay the money, which was 860 or something.
Around there.
So, hey, now again, that's when we struggled, Boobah, because now we didn't have cash.
Yeah, and the process to even get there, NJ. But shout out to that security guy who was quite helpful in like helping us, because we didn't actually know that we could do this online by ourselves. Everyone was just saying, hey, let me show you how to do this. And this guy, I was like, okay, so how much are you gonna charge me for? He's like $200. I'm like, what the heck, bro? And then, but because we're saying, have you done your online TIP?
Yeah.
I realized we can actually do this thing online. And so I went online to search for it. And then I found it. And then I realized actually we can just complete this thing ourselves. You're just completing forms and reading English. And that guy, he helped us to like note certain things. Then after that, we got a code. Because that lady who
Was sitting down helping
she
other
was
people.
amazing as that lady. Yeah, but at least we were able to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we went to that queue to pay for it now because you got the code. So the next thing was to pay for it. That was a proper queue, that one.
Oh, yeah, that
That
long one. Ooh,
That
guys,
was a proper queue.
we were in that queue for more than an hour. For them to help like one person, it literally took like an hour.
Nothing less than 30 minutes to help
Yeah.
one person.
And there were people who kept jumping the queue, guys. They would just come with some of the security guards, and they were just coming and we were just like, hi, bro, what's happening? Like, people are just jumping the line like that. Hey, a lot of people were just being dodgy there, guys. Yo. And now at that point, I was starting to get really frustrated because, guys, now I cannot stand for a long period of time. I literally get like lower back pain. So I was starting to get really annoyed with that whole process. And now that's like the process that we were not showing you guys. Because like it was just too frustrating to even show. Like there was no way I was gonna think of vlogging at that point.
Yeah.
And how did we actually pay that thing, babe? Because didn't they want cash there?
Yeah, so the process was also very frustrating because, just to give a bit of context, so we are in the queue, and I think we're getting closer and closer to paying, and it being our turn. And when we're third, this guy keeps coming and making people skip the line. And I was there wondering, how is it that these two people, they just allowing this to happen? Like, you know, for us, okay, it's a bit difficult. This is not our place, man. You don't want to get punched. You know, this is not your home.
Yeah.
So, but now I was wondering, how are these two guys letting everyone just pass them by? And so, I don't know how, but I realized the method that this guy was using, or for some, I don't know, we got to find out the method which these people were using to make people skip the line. Well, that guy actually came to us, he was like, hey, man, if you can just show appreciation, you'll skip the queue.
Yeah.
You know? So what he does is that because he's a hustler and he's just there to primarily make people skip the queue, he joins a queue himself. And he knows that he's not going anywhere. So he'll be like maybe number 4, and then he'll be moving with the queue until he becomes like number 2. And he will tell the second person or the first person, because he's number 2, that Emona, please hold this space for me. I'm coming just now. And then he goes and gets someone from the back and says, Emona, I have a spot there. I'm number 2. If you want, you can skip this queue right now. Why not just make me happy? Give me my juice. And I'll give you my spot. You'll become number 2 or number 1. So that's what kept happening. That we saw someone just go in front, and we're just like, what's going on? And then that guy had like 3 positions there in front by himself, and he kept calling someone else. So we are there thinking, Sawaten can't no, we actually like gonna have to still wait.
Yeah.
Until the first guy complained, like, "Hey, what's going on?" And he even complained to the security that, "Emon, how are you letting this guy
happen,
to bring people in front while we've been queuing here for a very long time?" And that's when the explanation came that, no, I'm holding these possessions so they are rightfully mine. But it's not right because he's not going anywhere. It's just hustling for people. So we actually had to stay there longer than we were supposed to. And there's very minimal you can do with your Lesotho head there.
Hey, Takaba. How did we pay, Kengo?
Also, the payment part, it was another realization that everyone is taking out cash. And literally each and every person, so you could take out South African rands. So we didn't need to take out dollars just yet.
Not there at the border.
Yeah. So we just told ourselves that we won't say anything until it's time to pay, because there's a lot of documentation that needs to happen before you can pay. So we just told ourselves, you know what, for our safety, if we can say we have a card immediately, they were gonna straight up make us return.
Yeah.
So we told ourselves, you know what, we're just gonna get there, let this lady crunch her numbers until we have to pay. And she did crunch her numbers until we had to pay. And then when we had to pay, now we told her, hey ma'am,
we have cards.
We have a card.
Yeah.
So she was like, oh, we use cash here. We're like, like there's nothing we can do. And then she was quite sympathetic and said, you know what,
she said we must go somewhere else
to
pay.
Yeah, she told us that they work with a different department within the same line, that just go to line or queue number 9
or something,
and they have a machine there, and you will just insert a certain code which will bring the money to us still.
And then that's where they wrote on a paper for us some code, and we had to be going around with it. So then we were able to pay. Is that thing still on, Boobah? Please check.
No, that thing should still be
Is it
on.
still
It's
okay?
charging, So at the time, we also needed to have stamped our passports at the
immigration. So they said we must go to immigration.
Yeah, and then you took both our IDs and you went to immigration.
Because you were there on the other queue. Yeah.
While I had to go and pay for the online TIP. Now, or another queue where they used machines now to swipe.
Yeah. So now the last thing that we had to pay was the Zinara.
That was also stressful, babe. Don't understand.
It was.
That process, because now you went there to go stamp our passports, and they were like, no, I need to be there for myself.
Yeah.
And present it by myself. And while I'm still queuing here, that guy took so long. I was number 2. And the person who had been there told me that he had been there for quite a while, waiting for those people to just help him.
Yeah.
And that guy, bro, looked like it was his first day on the job. He was pressing his computer
very slow.
like this, Mona, like pressing that computer with one finger.
And I think another thing that was happening, because at some point we could see them there over the glass, chilling. They were just talking, whatever. I don't know if they were changing shift or whatever, but they were so chilled. Yo, guys, we were just like, these people, they can see us. We are here. It's so full of these many queues, and they're just like, these clowns, we're not even gonna help them. We're gonna have our big fat chat conversations. Like, it was so frustrating, guys. It was so frustrating. But you can't even get frustrated because it's not gonna help.
Yeah, no, you can't. There's nothing you can do about it.
Just need to be calm.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'll go mad.
So we did that, and we finished that quite late, after that whole queue. And there was still something left that we still needed to do, which was the Zinara Kengoku.
Yeah.
The 160. And one thing, guys, all of these things were very similar things, because actually when I tried to read up about them, I couldn't actually even see what is the difference, because the Zinara, it's also like a road fee that you pay, and like they do maintenance on the roads. Well, they're supposed to. But after I saw the Zimbabwe roads, I was just like, but like all those fees we had to pay there at the border, and the roads are like this. So
which one was the insurance one in case you hit the Zimbabwean car with your own car.
Was it not the 871?
Yeah, the TIP. Okay.
The TIP.
So the Zinara was the road maintenance one.
But now, Connor, that insurance thing, it doesn't cover you.
Yeah, apparently
It doesn't cover you in the case of an accident and then you damage your car.
Yeah, for the protection of people that are in Zim if you hit someone else's car.
Oh, I got it. Like that whole thing, it just doesn't make sense, guys. It does not make sense. But yeah, anyways, now the last fee that we had to pay was the Zinara, which is 160. So now, guys, I think with the coins that we were left with, that one you had to pay strictly cash. There was no other way about it. And we had how much? 110.
Yeah.
I think we had 110. Yeah, we had.
And that was after like searching, Baba, and
searching everywhere.
The pockets.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were just left with 110 rand, and we needed 160 to pay that thing, and they wanted cash. Now, guys, you are at the border. You've left the South African side where there were ATMs. At the border, there are no ATMs. Like, Boobah, you also telling me that no one ever thought of putting an ATM there at that border? Because it's such a cash-paying economy. But are you telling me that no one ever thought of putting an ATM there? Yeah. So, guys, we had 100 rand, 110. We need to pay 160.
And we went to that guy just to get to that part.
Yeah.
So this guy, he had been quite friendly in the beginning. We went to him. Because now we also had to ask, so what's next after here?
Yeah.
So with each and every single thing, we were like, okay, what's next after here? They're like, okay, go to that cubicle now, and join the queue, and you're going to pay for something called Zinara. So we get there, and we are hopeful, thinking, oh, we've used card.
Yeah.
You know, one last card, and we are out of here. We get there, guys, like, we take cash only. And we're like, oh, no, okay, that's fine. They told us the same thing that time, but they allowed us to pay using your card in another cubicle. So can't you just give us a code, and then we'll go pay from another queue, and then blah, blah, blah. He was like, we don't even work in the same department. Those guys and us are completely different. We don't use card at all. We use cash, or you go home. That guy looked at us straight in the eye and said, it's either cash or this whole process that you've been through is meaningless.
Yeah.
And we are around like 5 o'clock there. It's late when we are at that last stage. Of the Zinaras.
Yeah, actually.
It was around after 5.
Or maybe just around Boma 4.
Really?
Because we left the garage at Beitbridge at 6 exactly.
Oh.
So, guys, now we at the end.
7 when you left the garage?
No, 6.
Okay.
It was 6.
Okay.
So now, guys, we're at the end, like literally the last thing that's left, and now we don't have enough cash. That one it was, it hit hard. It hit hard. We actually had to go outside and ask people for money. Like, I've never had to ask anyone for money, but I had to go there and approach some random lady that I don't know and be like, can you please help us with cash, because we don't have cash. And going back to the South African side was not an option, guys. It was not an option. Like, you just stuck there because you don't have cash. Like, you don't have hard cash. Yeah. You have cash in the bank. You cannot pay with the card. Guys, literally, I was just like, as in, I'm just I'm just gonna go up to any random lady and I'm just gonna explain the situation and ask them for the cash. So I asked this other lady who was wearing security gear.
But that was the successful one. We asked some few people.
We asked but shame it wasn't a lot, eh?
Yeah, it was just.
I think maybe she was the second person or third person that we asked.
Because we're also strategizing our way of asking by saying we can give you like an instant payment right
Oh
now.
yeah, we can pay
All
to
we
your
need-
bank and then you can give us the
Yeah, just to show that we are honest kids, man.
yeah.
We
We're not trying to
happen
rip anyone off.
yeah, like we just happen to be in a bad situation, and it is what it is.
Yeah. So shame that lady was very nice.
Super.
She asked another group of guys to give us cash because they had cash, and then shame they didn't even want us to send money to them or anything. They
Yeah,
just
she was like,
they
nah,
just gave us the money.
$50.
Yeah, $50
Because we wanted 40. We
Yes.
were asking for 40. That lady gave us like $50, and we were
Yeah.
like, okay, we have change. Here's like 10. We're like, no, let's
Yeah.
keep it.
Yeah. So we actually took $50. Then we went back to that guy inside and we paid. And I didn't see that I actually gave him 150 instead of 160. When we were paying there at the counter, I gave him 150 instead of 160. I didn't even see it.
But I thought,
No, yeah, I
When
gave
did
him.
you-
It
when
was
did-
10 rand short.
so
The money
he-
that I gave him, and he even said he was like, yeah, short, no short, no short, it's whatever.
So he wasn't lying when he said that.
No, he wasn't.
So why didn't you give it the 10 rand now?
No, I didn't realize it that I gave him 10 rand short. But anyways, that 10 rand, it helped us because we were left with 20 rand. When we went outside of the border and they were selling us those reflector things, that 20 rand was literally our last 20 rand. And those reflectors cost 20 rand.
Also, the guy was honest when he said that.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was trying to weasel
To be
us
funny.
again. Because I'm like, come on, bro. We counted the money like 3 times. How is it that we're still short of $10?
Yeah.
Okay, well, shout out to the guy.
Yeah. So we were done Kengoku, guys. It was like I think past 4 at that time, and then we drove. Also after we drove and we had to give documents. Good, they gave us
Some
issues.
hassles,
Yeah, but let's not get into that. Eventually, we left the border.
But before we left, when we were eventually done and we got into the car, people were clapping. There was a
Yeah,
there was a guy
another
like,
guy
you guys
was
are
clapping
done.
hands
Like,
for
yo,
us when
hi.
we're leaving.
He was like, his words were, patience and resilience
Yeah,
pays.
it pays off.
Pays off. And I'm just like, bro, is
Good,
this something
like-
worth celebrating?
Like,
The fact that we stood there the whole day
oh my gosh.
and people clap. Kore,
It's a huge
it's
achievement
a
to them.
huge it's a huge achievement when you are done and you're finally leaving the border going into Zim. So like guy was clapping, another one was like, hey Musutu, because we were wearing our
The Sotho
Lesotho
hats.
heads, and it was just that magical moment that it's like winning the amazing race, man. Everybody's just clapping for you, like you
Like-
did it, bro. Like
Oh my
you
gosh.
went through the whole thing successfully and you finally getting your, it's like leaving jail, man. Like your time has come, you're living,
Aye. And you
Yeah.
know, like you could see Boobah with other people there, they were relaxed. Like those cars, they were just packed. The women with their babies, they were sitting
Yeah.
on the floor with blankets. Babies were crying and they were even eating. Like other people were just so relaxed there and they were just prepared to spend a
you
long
could
time
see
there.
that they were not prepared to leave anytime soon, and it
Yeah.
was a thing of they're probably used to this. Kawane, the way they were sitting down, Mona, we are there hustling queues and running around. But now like sitting, and you could see that they are leaving tomorrow, these people, not today. Yeah, so that was another part of it.
Yeah, so yeah, guys, we eventually left. We eventually left the border around 5. And now, guys, we hadn't eaten the whole day. When we left Mokopane in the morning, we bought drinks and pies at the garage. That's all we had eaten the whole day. So we were super hungry by that time. Now it was like 5. So we went to it's another Shell garage, ne?
No, it's an engine this time.
It's an engine. Oh, and there's an engine there outside Beitbridge. So we went to that garage to go and buy food. So, even when we got there, it was another hassle of cash because we wanted to buy food at Chicken Inn. Then my friend had to do an eco cash thing where she can pay straight to the restaurant or pay straight to the petrol thingy
Using her phone.
using her phone. Yeah, and then Yeah, because now they still needed cash there as well, and there were no ATMs there.
Or can I just comment that, I really wish when you go to Zim for the first time, there can be like some sort of a sheet that says, these are the different queues you're going to have to go into, and this is
The
how
documentation
much,
you need,
this is the documentation you need,
how
and
much
this
you
is how
need to
much you
pay.
need.
Yeah.
Because we had to ask people so many times, like, where. It would help so much if you can have one document that states everything.
Yeah, the whole
and
process.
where you're gonna be going and everything. Because now, the hassle of having to ask for this and that and that. Yeah, no,
A child. It really would be nice to have, that sort of information sheet.
Yeah.
Something that you are given when you enter the
When you
border.
enter, like,
Then you can already mentally prepare yourself.
yeah.
Yeah, because that process is very daunting, guys. It's very daunting. So yeah, anyways, game. But like, I think we will talk about that. But now, what did we learn and what we wish could have? Yeah. So let's just maybe finish the story up until like leaving the border. Yeah, because I think it's gonna be too long. Let's just focus on literally the border stuffies.
Okay.
Then we went to buy food. Our friend did the eco cash, and then we poured petrol and we paid with our card. At least we could pay with the card, for the petrol, because we still had 9 hours to drive to go to Zim, guys. 9 hours. So we bought petrol. Our friend did the eco cash for us, because now inside they wanted dollars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now they're
inside
working
by
with
the
dollars.
shop.
Yeah,
By the
but
shop.
the first part they could still take some rands and they could help you exchange.
Yeah.
The guys could help you exchange dollars to rands, but we had no rands to start with.
Yeah. So we were able to buy food, we got petrol, then we started driving. So as you drive, it's 9 hours long, and there are tolls that you pass in that 9 hours. I think about 4 or 5, and each of them are $30 each, and they all wanted cash.
Did you speak about the reflectors?
Oh yeah.
It's not that deep.
I also want us to sort of.
I told you it was gonna be very
It's
long.
too
I told you it was
long.
gonna be super long, bro.
It's too long.
The story is
Yeah,
too long.
it's too long. And also we can't make it separate videos. That's going to be too daunting. Yeah, so while we were there, Kengoku, at the garage, also, remember now we were left with 20 rand. So the people there kept selling us reflectors to put on our car. Guys, like, our car has reflectors at the bottom, but they were selling us these plastic ones, these square ones that you need to paste on the car. And they were like, if you don't have them, you'll get into trouble, blah blah blah. So hey, we figured, let's just buy these things, because we don't want problems. We don't know how things are in this country. Let's just abide.
And every car seemed to pretty much
To have
them.
those
So,
reflectors.
you might as well give it up in jail.
But no, the cars there, Boobah, they didn't have like built-in reflectors though. Because Lily has reflectors there at the bottom. But no, the cars there in Zim, they literally don't have.
Well, some did,
But they still had those ones.
and they still had those ones for formalities, because if you're
Yeah.
caught without them,
It's
there are
an
issues.
issue. So we ended up with our last 20 rand cash. We bought those reflectors, okay? Then we were on our way, we left, and the tolls were an issue as well, because they wanted cash.
Oh.
So the first toll, we told them, guys,
We don't have money.
we don't have money. We had to, we spent all of our money at the border. We don't have the cash. Our friend can do a eco cash transfer for you guys. Hey, they said we must stand by the side of the road for some time.
Yep.
After a while, they said we can leave. That lady who was there paid for us. So they were like, we can leave. So now we had to make a plan for the next tolls.
Because there were 3 more.
So my friend Nats did a eco cash payment. So there was a garage that we came across along the way, and then we had to ask those people, and my friend was going to do a eco cash for them so that they can give us like actual cash in dollars, because now you need like strictly cash inside Zim there, and in dollars, of which we didn't even have dollars, we didn't have cash. So then we were able to pay for the following tolls.
We
Until
also got ripped off again.
we got ripped off what in
Because
terms
now
of the rate
the
and stuff.
exchange rates, because these guys saw that we
Yeah.
were desperate, we needed the money, and they just increased the rate of dollar,
The exchange,
the
yeah.
exchange just because wow.
Yeah, and Nats wasn't willing to pay that exchange rate, but then literally there was no one else who was gonna help us.
Yeah.
So eventually she just had to agree and pay that amount.
Yeah, no.
So that's how we were able to just get through the trip now. And then when we got to Zim early in the morning, when we were about 30 minutes away from our destination, again GPS started taking us out of the main road into these gravel roads that end up like in dead ends.
And this is like 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning,
We
guys.
wanted to arrive at 10, but the whole night we were on the
We
road.
were
3 o'clock
driving.
in the morning, GPS is throwing us off, and we were very close to arriving.
We were very close, like 30 minutes away, but we just kept going around in circles trying to find the way. GPS was just not taking us to the correct place, guys.
Yeah.
To the point that now Natai's father had to come and fetch us because we literally couldn't find our way
Yeah, we
to
gave
the
up.
CBD.
Yeah, we got into such bad places. Remember
Yeah.
those places we got into?
Gravel places, guys, like gravel. It took us out of the main road to the gravel, but now that gravel wouldn't lead us anywhere. It would end up in a dead end or just like an ending
Someone's
road.
house.
Someone's house.
Next, we were driving next in Boomah in someone's house. We went back.
Aye.
We saw a road that led to the other side. Next thing, some
body of
pond
water.
of water there. And this is like so dark. There are no street lights. We are in the gravel, and it's like bushy all over the
Guys.
place. It was quite scary.
It was,
Like
it
someone's
was.
grandma was just gonna put
Like
up on
someone's
the road.
yeah, and the whole time, like I was communicating with Nata, telling her, "Girl, we are getting like it's not working. We just have to stop now because this is not working." I was even telling her the road, the main road where we were, but the GPS was just taking us out. So, guys, it was a mess. That whole trip was a mess. Even now to come back from Zim,
And shame Natsa, man, she's getting married then just the next day. And she was
and
there
she
3
was awake
o'clock
the whole day.
texting and
She
responding.
didn't have a
so
choice. She had to.
Shout out to Natsa. Yeah.
So yeah, guys, that was the trip. Even to when we came back, it was another issue. We actually used the dollars that we had and we bought petrol because we thought we're going back to South Africa now. We won't have to pay those zinaras and things again.
Yeah.
Only to find out that even when you go back, you have to pay those zinaras and the zimris. The only thing that we didn't pay was just the TIP.
GIP, yeah.
So now Boobah had to cross to the side of South Africa and walk and then go withdraw and come back to the Zim side so we can pay those things, and then only we could leave. And that's just a whole other story, Leona. Guys, I was so fed up at that point. I was fed up with Zim. Fed up with Zim. And my person Shem, he had to take all the heads. And Shem, he was really trying for us. I was over it.
Well, now you were very upset.
I
You were
was
even upset
very
at me,
over.
Jaren.
I wasn't upset at you, boy, but
were upset.
I wasn't upset at you,
But you
babe.
were punching me along with your
No, babe. So, guys, you need to prepare yourself mentally to go to Zim if you
And
are
the
going to
passing
drive
of
there.
that thing, it was so hot again, and imagine having to go from Zim and then you stamp everything, run through the bridge. I was on a marathon running, get into SA, stamp my things, went to Shell to withdraw money at a ATM there, got there's no money. Everyone else finished the money. So the
Then we
next
had
thing to
ask
do
people.
was to ask the people that were going to pour petrol and say, hey, Tate, can I swipe for you and you give me cash?
Yeah.
There's my situation, blah, blah. I had to ask a couple of people because someone thought it was a scam and whatever. But eventually this gentleman, he was like, no, I understand your situation.
Yeah.
Let me swipe for me there. Then he gave me cash. I came back
Run back again.
back again.
And it literally doesn't make sense, guys. Why would you pay all of these fees if you're going back to South Africa?
Yeah.
Because most of those fees, it's road stuff for Zim.
Yeah.
You leaving Zim, why would you have to pay them again? That was the frustrating thing about it. Yo, Kuri, I was so angry. At that point, I just wanted to punch. I just wanted to punch everyone in the face.
If you have a rifle, you can just
shoot all of them. Yo, guys, I was so upset. Like, I was so upset. Yeah. Kuri, I had reached my breaking point. Like, I had reached my limit because to when we were going, I had to endure so much and you try to keep calm and everything. Now, when you have to leave again,
same
thing.
And we left on time. The aim was to get home like on time
before it gets dark.
And we were well ahead of our planned time to arrive.
Yo, guys,
took us a nice 2 hours there again.
Yo, not to even mention the things that we went through, inside Zim, the roads, of like all these fees that we were paying. Kuri, the roads are still terrible, guys. Our car had to hit so many potholes. Kuri, the whole time I was just praying that we don't get a punctured tire or we don't damage anything on the base of the car, because the roads, they're terrible. And people also drive terribly. They drive terribly. So the whole time I was just praying that nothing bad happens. Can we just go home in peace? Guys, the only thing we enjoyed about going to Zim was being with our friends and their wedding. Everything was top tier. Like, top tier. Our interaction with our friends. Her family was just so happy to have us. And man, it was very nice at the wedding. We totally enjoyed ourselves. But everything else about Zim was a stressor.
Yeah, but maybe just to be fair a bit, so they are busy constructing the roads, just to put that there.
Like at some places.
Yeah, the road from Beitbridge to Harare, it is the I think like sort of like the only road. It's the main road, and so they are busy fixing it. So to be fair, there were parts that you could see that here money has been invested. The road was quite proper at some places, but it was in patches.
But inside Harare, that's where
inside Harare, that's where like issues came.
Yes.
And it was
surprising because Harare is the capital city. Yeah.
So we thought the roads would be even better, but I guess it's still like a work in progress. Maybe for someone who would go like in end of 2023 or like a couple of so the roads they are slowly getting there.
They are. So guys, it was a very interesting trip. It really tested our patience and it really tested our limits.
100%.
Yeah, but I think now what I would really advise people, guys, if you want peace of mind and you just want a convenient trip, don't drive. Do not drive to Zimbabwe. Fly. I think I'm not willing to drive to any African country at this rate. Like, it was too traumatic, the whole Zimbabwe thing. Yeah, it was too traumatic, but we were willing to give it a try, we were willing to give it the benefit of the doubt, because a lot of people were actually like, oh, you guys want to drive there? Oh, don't even. But now also, I mean, we were working on a limited budget, so it's not like we had a choice. So flying was going to be double the expenses that we used to go to Zim. But perhaps with all of those extra fees, but it was still going to be a lot. It was still going to be a lot, because now we also had to pay for accommodation. So guys, but from now on, I don't think that we are gonna drive to any other African country, like, just to be completely honest, because I'm not willing to go through all of that again.
Otherwise we are too broke to go.
Otherwise we're too broke. If we cannot afford to fly, then we can't go. So because guys, that whole process is it's mentally draining. So I think that's like the piece of advice that I'd give to you guys. Don't do it. Any advice that you would like to give, Boobah?
If you do go there, have cash,
have a lot of cash.
Money, have moolah, have dough, have paper, man. Have
a lot of it, like 5,000 if you have to,
because even
for the
when you're
whole
inside, even when you're inside, you're still gonna use cash. When you pour petrol, it's gonna be cash. When you do each and every
buy
single
food,
thing,
cash.
So
everything in Zim is cash. So yeah,
Don't
maybe
kill
take
yourself.
5,000. Maybe take 5 if you're gonna stay for like a weekend, like
Yeah.
strictly a weekend.
Just to spend and just to be safe.
Yeah.
Just to be safe.
Yeah. If you know you're not going to be like, you're not going there to buy stuff and you maybe just going to an event and you know you're not going to spend that much, I would say 5,000, it will cover
Your basic needs.
your basic, it will cover like your petrol, it will cover those fees and just like really basic food if you're really not going to. Yeah, but maybe 7,000.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, 7,000 would cover like totally everything. But yeah, if you are going to go through that whole process, leave very early in the morning, have all your car documents on time, and have
And lots of water.
of cash and have lots of water.
Cold water.
Yeah, because guys, it's so hot at that place. Yeah, guys, so that was the trip. Yeah, you know what? From this story time, I actually realized there's just so much to talk about, but we literally cannot cover everything. Like, there's so much that happened, even while inside Zim. But yeah, I think I really wanted you guys to understand the whole traveling thing. Yeah, so yeah, guys. So yeah, guys, that's our story time, and we hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you're gonna learn something and take some tips from us. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell so that you don't miss out anytime that I post a video.
And if maybe like for people that are like from Zim, if they have like more context and information, because this also had some bit of an informational
Yeah, side of it.
side of
yeah.
it. If there are any corrections that need to be made, just feel free to type them in without taking
Yeah, and
to
this
teach other people.
and all of this, guys, is our personal experience.
Experience,
Yeah, this is what we lived. This is our real life lived experience. So yeah, if you have any other tips that you'd like to give, do so in the comment section down below. I'd really appreciate that. Yeah, don't attack us, guys, because this was our experience and you can't take that away from us. Yeah. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you guys, and thank you for coming to my channel, Boobah. Thank you, Boobah. And yeah, guys, from us, we will see you guys on the next video. Hopefully Boobah's gonna come again to my channel. Crossing fingers. Oh my, okay, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.